all of this because he was just trying to bring awareness to police brutality. It's scary that they hate us that much.
If you got kids
don't worry about everything. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. You got kids to feed. You got a wife to take care of. You got kids.
Can they take care of their kids now while they in prison?
No. But they couldn't take care of them when they was out here anyway. Black Panthers ain't doing it.
Why are we so nice?
Why? Because we fucking punks. That's why.
I don't think we're a lot better off than they was on the boat.
Okay.
We ain't on that boat.
We ain't on that boat.
Because if you said this on that boat, you can't just throw money at something and fix it. Life doesn't work like that. We gotta come together and grow collectively. But it starts with yourself. I'm telling you, man, when you grow up in certain neighborhoods, what you glorify is just different.
Facts.
It's not even that you want to. You don't even know. You don't. Why? You don't even. When you in
that's
the
just societal norm.
Yeah, it's just.
You know what? And that's true, right? Because I lived in North New Jersey my whole life till I moved to Atlanta, and all I knew was North New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And then I met some people who took me out of town, and I realized, like, damn, everybody don't live how we live.
But in your mind,
in
that area,
they was uppity people.
They were uppity, yeah, they're fucking uppity. Like,
and you move to a different area, and you like, yo, this is nice. This is different. I thought the whole world. You thought some people really think what they see on TV is really how people live. They really think like that's the only way to make it. They don't even understand that.
And that's why
100 miles away
fucking souls
for money. They don't understand another way, and that's why I feel like we need to come together. And I feel like Facebook is a great source because you see, like, even what Olive was doing.
Fuck Facebook.
Nah, you can't say that because I look at it like this. A lot of people don't know where to start, right? Let's say, like I said, like that felon that gets out of jail, he's on Facebook. He has one good friend. One friend on Facebook that's speaking positivity, that's giving these free online classes, that's telling you, hey man, take your last $10 and invest in this stock. I think it might do something for you. After you was gonna take that $10 and put it in McDonald's anyway. Or like, you know, like just something to help you see that there's more ways to get money.
I agree.
Than what you think.
When I think of like conversations like this, like I just can't stay surface based because you have to think about how did they get to that level of when they're being labeled a criminal. Like again, you could be locked up for marijuana and you are a criminal. We know that majority of people in the United States of America right now are locked up on drug charges from the war on drugs, from the Ronald Reagan, the Nixon, and all those others, from George Bush to Bill Clinton to George Bush again. We know that majority of people who are incarcerated in the United States of America are for drugs. Drugs don't make you a criminal, right? We criminalize them, right? Only thing I've ever heard in the United States government, which was the CIA, was to admit that they put drugs in our neighborhood, but they never took responsibility for the damage it created. They never took responsibility for the amount of leadership and black men that they removed from our neighborhoods. You know, those black men they removed, they was our role models. Those were the people who owned their little business and corner stores and bodegas. They removed that. They removed what was going to teach us how to get that.
But you know what though? Playing devil's advocate again. They were also the ones that tore our neighborhoods down. Gotta say it, man. You gotta call it what it is. If you selling drugs in the community,
I disagree.
If you selling drugs to my uncle,
listen, is it right? No.
I mean, they might. I mean, look, what? I mean, don't glorify them.
Everybody glorify money because of what it can provide, right?
Yeah, I hear you, but why? But at the expense of another person. Not a person that looks just like you.
It's
wrong. You gotta take personal responsibility.
Okay, so when is the government gonna take personal responsibility for putting it in there?
Your job is to take personal responsibility for yourself first.
If you got kids,
don't worry about everything. I understand what you're saying.
If you got kids to feed, you got a wife to take care of. You got kids.
Can they take care of their kids now while they in prison?
No. But they couldn't take care of them when they was out here anyway, and they had to make a decision of. I
understand that.
Okay, I understand that. I right to destroy you, but understand. Yo, let me tell you something. I'm always gonna choose my kids first.
Yeah.
Over your kids, my kids gonna come first.
Right.
So if I gotta sell to yours to provide for mine, it is what it is.
Well, thank you.
And it's wrong. And it's morally wrong. And nor do I promote it, nor do I advocate for it or not. But these are their options. White people don't got that. White people don't have that option that black people have in terms of whether they're gonna take that A route or that B route.
So what do you do?
It's a lot longer. You know what? What do? You become a fucking LeBron James. The only two people I've ever respected in my life that I would actually call kings of God.
You react
LeBron
with
James
ownership.
and Colin Kaepernick.
You react with ownership.
No, you know what? And this is why. And let me tell you why. Because
figure it out.
LeBron James, our primary school, was him taking accountability to say, like, yeah, I stand up for these issues, but you know what? Yeah, Jay-Z and them, yeah, they give a lot of money to these campaigns or whatever. LeBron James, he took ownership and started his own shit. I ain't gotta give shit to these campaigns. I'm gonna let them pay them to educate people that
don't throw other people under the bus.
I'm not throwing them under the bus.
You know what I'm saying? That's not fair. You don't know what they do with their money.
I'm trying to prove a point. You said, what do they do? We know that education is
what do you do?
Education is another way to have them choose better choices, right? Yeah. You witness me choose, say, I want that job. Wow, that guy ain't gotta work it. You know, I know I'm more qualified. I could go walk in and get something else. I ain't got to do that shit because what I decided to invest in my education.
Right.
Mind you, I grew up in one of the worst cities in this country. When I met my mentors in them and they put me in a private school, I was on the bottom. 0.7 GPA. And that was my hardest trying because I just wasn't there. I didn't have this type of education. I didn't have these teachers that really took personal accountability of saying, I'm going to make sure you get this. We ain't got that in our neighborhoods. They don't even pay these teachers enough to care about us. So you know what? Jim Crow, segregation, right? You can't drink out this water fountain. You can't do this because you're black. You can't do that, right? When it was decided that slavery was going to end and all that shit, and black people going to end up in school, white, fuck no. We're going to create a private school district, and we're going to pay for our kids to go to school because we know your black ass can't afford it, right? You know what they get? They get all the opportunities. They get all the resources. They get all the networking. We don't have that. You're going to go to the school, you're going to get whatever the fuck we give you, you're going to use these fucking books that got missing pages out of it. Like, that's what you're going to get.
So my question to you...
You don't get the most updated technology, you don't even get laptops, you don't even get desktops.
So my question to you...
So you say, how to make it work? It's done by giving us a fair chance. They need to give us a fair chance. We don't have it. We can't create it.
Well, what I feel, this is, you can't expect... We've tried to do that. We've tried to get resources from them. Is not working.
It's never going to work.
You gotta do it yourself. I think in 2018, it's time to stop making excuses.
It was never
figure it out.
Yo, look.
What?
It's never an excuse because it's reality.
Yeah.
It's never an excuse. Realities are not excuses.
And you're right. There's nothing wrong with explaining the truth. Everything you said is true. I'm not disputing that. Like, the schools, the separation, the Jim Crow, all of that is real. And I just like whenever I don't say blackball, but whenever I get like in a place where I feel like I deserve to be somewhere, but I'm not, I like to just think I just gotta own it, or I gotta figure out how to be on top. Huh?
You may be the. I had a professor in college named Brian Royce that he just dropped a book about law enforcement. He was a New Jersey state trooper. He sued New Jersey for $1.3 million after he retired, and he won on sexual harassment, on discrimination charges, on all kinds of shit. And he won. They reappealed it. They went back. He won again. Like, and the point in like saying all of that is that it's just.
React with ownership, baby. My perspective. That's what.
Nah, I'm just saying. I
agree. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying?
Don't work. No, in the French Revolution, you know what their politicians wasn't listening to? They're going right through. They started lynching them motherfuckers. Yeah. Then they're like, okay, I don't want to die. Hey, come have a conversation with us. You know, I'm going to have an open forum. Let's all speak up. What we could do different. Da, da, da. And when you ain't listen to us, then we might kill your ass too. You know what? The KKK did it.
Yeah.
Right? They accused the Black Panthers.
Why are we so nice?
Why? Because we fucking punks. That's why.
I don't think punks. I don't think we punks, but I think at the end of the day, we have to still remember in the back of your mind, you don't have the same resources to just do whatever you want.
Facts.
So you have to react in the way where they can take us off. And if they do take us off, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So you have to just react. We have to. I think we should do things from right under them. Just keep building up. just keep moving forward.
Yeah,
Just keep buying these houses. Keep pulling in different, create multiple streams of income. Just start catching up. I mean, it's gonna be a while.
And I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just trying to educate people on what happens when, you know, when we say like substitute things and it holds no weight. Like, let's say we keep buying houses, right? Then the housing market crashed, and the only one that's dramatically affected is black people. We are always overwhelmingly affected by anything.
But don't do it beyond your means.
That was the problem. The problem wasn't black people on that. They was giving these loans to black people, and they knew they couldn't afford them. You only making $20,000, and I'm giving you a $250,000.
You have an 800 credit score, and your fucking interest rate is still 11, 12.
But that's on you.
That's on you.
That's on you to be socially conscious, because what you did was you allowed them to put you in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong. Or some people probably forced into, you know, trying to get a house, trying to get. Now
that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, so I mean,
but you know, you have to.
What about the people? But
you have to do the homework.
But let's not forget that there are a portion of people who got low interest rate, and their interest rate went up over the years as they paid.
They got variable rates. Don't ever get a variable rate.
You make sure your rate.
You get a fixed rate. You never, Mitchell. Never get a.
Listen to you. I understand.
Okay, that's what that goes on with.
I'm listening to
personal responsibility. Do your homework.
Listen.
Don't just take this because I throw it in front of you, man. Read. Ask questions. Go talk to somebody who's done it before.
Listen. What has to be done for black people to advance in this country needs to be
done by black people. What does that mean? What's the phrase of the day?
Uppity.
No. React with ownership, man. React with ownership.
And that's good. That's a nice way for you to tone that in, though. But I think there's a lot to come in the future. And I was reading this book called The New Jim Crow. It's my second time reading it, actually. And she was saying...
Show it to the people, man. Show it to the people.
It's called The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. And basically, she was saying how it works in America is that they create these new caste systems, like how you say, like, start under them and keep building it up. And she was like, that's how they came about when slavery, they already knew like the Jim Crow was already going to be in effect, right?
Yeah.
Then after the Jim Crow, then you get the Reconstruction, you get the black law, the black codes or whatever, and then you go from Jim Crow right to mass incarceration, right?
Yeah.
Then it was like, now she's saying that criminal justice...
Well, mass incarceration started really right after slavery.
Right.
Really, yeah.
Right, but what she's saying is that by the time they already in mass incarceration, they put reform bills and people, even Republicans getting on board, it's going to be too late because the new caste system is already into effect. And you won't.
That's what I'm saying. We already behind because we don't never.
We are.
Nah, but a lot of times we just not paying attention, man.
Centuries behind. You know, I don't think it even matters. We're so far from. Listen, we will never be able to catch up.
I'm not going to say that.
We will always have to work 2 times.
I got faith. I've never catch up.
The issue is the thing is let's address all the elephants in the room. One, we don't pay attention to politics. People at home watching football. They're not watching politics. They're not worried about what new law was passed. We don't care. We don't know.
They got criminal records for marijuana. They can't vote anyway. Why do they need to sit there and watch fucking politics? They ain't got no voice no more.
It's something.
But you can. The thing is, see, the people don't understand. You could be a felon, right?
You cannot be a felon and vote in the United States.
That is not true. There are pardons you can get to be a felon and vote.
We could bet money on that. You cannot be a felon in this country and vote.
I don't want to make no phone calls. Cause I call a felon right now.
I think there are circumstances.
There are. I think as long as you didn't commit a violent crime.
Look it up. And then let's go even further with that. Mass incarceration is legalized slavery, right? When you get a criminal record, you can't live in certain neighborhoods. You can't get public assistance. You can't get public funding towards your education. All that shit goes away. They're basically telling you to figure out on your own. And as a black person, you already been told that whether you have a criminal record or not, is to figure it out on your own. It's lose-lose situations for them. Like, I would say only 4% of black people in this country have never ran into an altercation with law enforcement, which is fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Guys, okay. Individuals convicted of a felony are ineligible to vote while incarcerated, on parole, or on probation. Voting rights are automatically restored 2 years after the completion of all supervised release, except if convicted of treason. ex-offenders should re-register to vote. Okay? In Maine and Vermont, felons never lose their right to vote, even while they are incarcerated. They never lose. Wow. Felons never lose their right to vote in Vermont and Maine? Wow.
What's the population of Vermont and Maine?
Not a lot, but that's still interesting. I didn't know. I'm just saying.
But and specifically upon amongst black people.
Not a lot.
And check this out. We only vote on the president level every 4 years.
Right.
Other people fall way under that. Some people fall over that, right?
Yeah.
When people go to jail, they hit you with 301s, right? So, I mean, you go to jail on a 3-year sentence, serve 1 year, come home, right? You still have to wait additional 4 years. Additional 4 years. Even if you got to wait 2 years and you cannot vote, still significantly impacts.
Yeah. But moving on. That is important. I'm sorry. I don't want to take away from you, but this is education because I didn't know. In Maine and Vermont, felons never lose their right to vote, even while they are incarcerated. So if you're in prison, if you kill somebody and you go to jail in Maine, or if you live in Maine, Obama, you know what I'm saying? You can still vote. That's great. I didn't know that. In 14 states in the District of Columbia, felons lose their voting rights only while incarcerated and receive automatic restoration. So it doesn't really say. We need to do some more research into this and let some fellas know if they have any rights to.
I seen some people put that on Facebook a while ago. Was going around because a lot of people just don't know, and that's what I'm saying. We need to. That's my issue. We need to start knowing what we are capable of doing. Now, you are right. The whole fact that you have to wait 2 years additionally after.
Crazy.
Now that
is still significant.
Yeah, that is a big impact. But and here's why, like I told you, I'm not a surface guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're violating people and sending them back to prison if they're 1 minute late on their curfew time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So many people are drastically affected, whether they're on probation, parole, incarcerated, waiting that 2 year period. Some of them don't get to make it.
Probation is like a setup. It's a setup.
Facts, it is. And you know what? My brother was serving time. He was like, "Yo, I could come home right now." I said, "Max out. Why come home? Do 2 more years in prison, come home, you never have to worry about it." Because why? Because you know
what?
Look, check this out.
I don't know your brother, but
he stayed, he did his 2 years, he came home, he never went back to prison. He didn't have to go take any drug tests, he didn't have to do nothing.
He didn't put himself back in a situation.
Sometimes they can violate you for not having a job in a certain amount of time that they give you. Then you go back to prison. What kind of shit is that?
Oh, yeah.
You already know that you're discriminated against, 1, because you're black, 2, because you're a felon, and 3, you're looking for a fucking job. You get what I'm saying? You go right back in the same predicament. It's a setup, right? So if there's more people in probation and parole in today's society than it was slave, imagine how many people who are ineligible to vote, period. That's enough. That's all you need is to eliminate a certain group or percentage of people to alter any election. And they have successfully done that for years. Mm-hmm. For years. So it still matters.
But now you know, if you go to jail, just move to Maine.
Move to Maine.
You go to prison.
You do know it takes what, 2 years to become a resident. So
that's crazy.
So you know,
for real. It's a lot though. It's a lot.
So crazy that they only put it in the whitest states of all.
Thank you. And then I actually got
a friend from Vermont. He's black. So what?
What's the
black people?
Okay.
No, he's actually smart.
Thank you.
He's smart. He's actually a smart guy.
No, I'm saying, but he doesn't matter because he's not a felon.
He's the opposite of a felon.
Overtime, it just hurts.
But I mean, you know, I just do feel like we just need to have more conversations like this in the household. We need to start this from young. Our kids need to understand where they stand, like where they live. They need to understand what's really going on. Now, I don't think you should be so raw. I don't think you should make your kids look at other kids so because the innocence is young. But in every household, that's the problem. We do it so much in our household. I feel like we making kids feel they got to combat their counterparts. Now, kids shouldn't be doing that with each other. Mm-hmm. Now, and the problem is that what we're doing in our household, other races are doing it in their household. So that's why we keep getting this circle. You don't grow up. You're not meant to. You are not born like, I just for some reason can't stand Julio. I don't know why. But I hate Mexicans. You don't grow up like that. It's just
toys.
Exactly, and that's the issue. So if we could figure out a way to just start having healthy conversations, like We need this. First of all, a lot of times we talk with color. We do it all the time.
It's hard though.
It's hard because that's the way we're programmed.
No, I say it's hard to have healthy conversations because if you look like what has been done to so many people that look by you, it's hard to look at somebody and have some respect for them.
But that person, if that person had nothing to do with what was wrong in your life, then you shouldn't hate that person.
Okay, but his grandfather told him to hate you regardless, though.
But what if we do with it? But see, we can't say everybody's like that. Because
I saw a quote. I heard a quote from Black Panther. Everybody saw Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it said, I'd rather be buried. It's on Netflix actually right now, so you should go watch it. He said, I'd rather be buried in the ocean with my ancestors because they understood that They understood that death was better than bondage.
Yeah.
Which was like, and it stick with me. Like,
you think so? You think?
I absolutely think so.
I disagree with you on that. Because you gave up. You gave up.
No, you ain't give up.
You gave up.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you like this. If I was on that,
just think. If everybody would have jumped, if every African ever would have jumped, there won't be no Trey, there won't be no Brady.
You're coming from one continent to another. You starve. You ain't eat your whole way over there. You beat. You told what to do. You control your every movement. You shackled to a motherfucker. Knees are touching. Like,
I can't even. I'm not going to say. I don't want to disrespect that.
I don't think it's disrespect.
I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. I don't want to disrespect
because if we would
that decision that they made, because I think there is some type of honor in that. But I also think it's honor in pushing through. You know what I'm saying?
And hope that your kids will be free, and here you are. So
now we got
So I mean, I get it.
I don't believe we free, but
you know what? We not. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
We're a lot better off than they was on the boat.
Okay.
We ain't on that boat.
We ain't on that boat.
Because if you said this on that boat,
and the reason why we not on that boat is because of people who stayed on that boat. Because they chose to.
That's that one. that made no sense.
The reason why we
he do that. No, keep that. He do this all the time. People be like, "Yo, what?"
Edit that one. Edit that.
What did you say?
That's an edit right there.
Nah, but the reason. I mean, I don't know. Just forget it.
You gotta edit that one.
You know what I'm trying to say though.
Nah, don't.
It's good. I mean, if it wasn't for them staying on the boat, there would be no Martin Luther King. There'd be no Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying?
Martin Luther King.
Just think, if everybody would have jumped, if they got rid of 100% of them. Well, don't disrespect.
Was a sellout. I'm a Malcolm X guy. I'm sorry. I don't believe love is the answer. I still don't believe.
But you can't call that. You can't call out a sellout. You call that a difference of opinion.
It's a difference of opinion.
Martin Luther King. Okay, he was gullible then. He was gullible.
But you know what? You know one thing. You know what? The reason.
What if it wasn't for him? What?
The reason.
For what? Look, and all the time, Martin Luther King preached peaceful resistance. He believed in love. He believed everybody should move towards that.
Yeah.
But the people that followed Martin Luther King didn't. They still rioted. They still burned shit down. They still caused chaos. Martin Luther King didn't, but his followers did.
Can't control everybody, though.
You can't control everybody, but the point is,
how do you explain the Gettysburg, the Petty Edmund Bridge incident when John Lewis got beat down into his life just for walking across the bridge? If it wasn't for acts like that, man, who knows where we would have been right now? Fighting them at that time, it seemed like a good idea. And I still kind of agree with it.
Love what? You want us to know love what they did to us? Like that?
It's kind of like this, Majet. It's like this is the thought process. If you fight them, they're gonna hate you even more. It's kind of like you coming over here to fight me, and in the midst of fighting me and beating me, you realizing, yo, this has no purpose. It's not like all this person wants to do is just have a better life.
I can't beat the good out
He did it. He had to do those kind of things just so the world can see how stupid you look. You know what I'm saying? You hate me for what? Because of my skin?
The whole world act like that.
Okay, that's all he was trying to do. His thought process. Let me tell you something. This is gonna hurt your feelings. His thought process was way more advanced than Malcolm X's. Okay, he was thinking 100 years down the road, 200 years down the road. It was too early for us, is what it was. We should be doing what Martin Luther King was teaching right now. Because at the end of the day,
are we not?
No, we're not. We're not, because we're still in bondage. You just said it yourself.
What was Martin Luther
so don't
King
disrespect his message. Is what I'm saying.
What was Martin Luther King dream?
Huh?
What was Martin Luther King dream?
Peaceful protest.
No, that wasn't his dream.
What was his dream?
What was his dream? That little black boys and little black girls could hold.
And how did he want to achieve that? Peacefully.
Okay.
He didn't. Okay, that's okay. So what do you mean? That was his vision.
Well, this is what
peacefully.
What's his dream achieved?
No. What did I just say? Martin Luther King's dream we should have been implementing that right now. It's not that it was wrong. It's not that it was wrong.
Because now,
listen, you got.
How can you manage?
You don't listen.
How can
you don't
you
listen?
How can you manage to love someone?
well, the thing is, now we have a bigger and a whole different type of platform. So it's like alright, so what we should have did was we should have been like, alright, look, we don't need help from nobody else. We're gonna get what we need. We're gonna be self-sufficient, right?
Yeah.
And build that. We're gonna hold these walls down. Even if it doesn't go the way we think, we're gonna stand for this. So boom. Now that we have our own society, we don't need y'all no more.
We got something to stand on.
Yeah, now we have the economic resources.
Now we rebuilt Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So then boom. All these years go by. Listen. All these
Black Wall Street.
It got burned down. But listen. Okay, but that's all we had. We didn't have, and we still wasn't. We were still thinking love. All right. Okay.
And just mind you, that
I was gonna think love. And today's time, y'all still should.
All I'm saying is this.
Love ain't
all we saying is this.
Violence is.
Listen. If you try to come and the only problem that Martin Luther King had, to me, he didn't have nothing to stand on. He had nothing backing him. He only had the black community, which had nothing. What did we own at the time?
He was one of the most prominent, respected civil rights leaders.
Don't come to the table unless you got something to stand on.
Period.
Don't come to the table of America where people stand on corporations, where we dealing with cotton money, where we dealing with money on over centuries and centuries and centuries. When you step to them, you got to step to them right if you want it to be right. That's what we should be doing now. In the 50s and 60s should have been the time of us figuring it out, getting the business going, building our own corporations. Hundreds of corporations being built. Now in 2018, because at the end of the day, we're all human, right? His mindset is we're all created equal. That's the American way. That's what it says in the Constitution, right?
Y'all army people, right? Y'all army people, right?
Yeah.
Right, continue.
We're all created equal. At the end of the day, I want to get along with everybody. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But his thought process was way more advanced than Malcolm X's because of the times. I definitely understand Malcolm X's. He was right. Martin Luther King was just too early. He was just too early in the game.
I don't believe that love was the way.
Nah, you know what? And I do think that, see, a lot of people want to react with emotion. We should have reacted when only attacked. We should have built our own. These are our walls. We good over here. Yeah. You come on this side, you cause your own problem. You don't want us on your side. Because we stab one of yours, you're going to kill 100 of ours. Mm-hmm. So we're going to stay away from your side. We're going to build our side, and we're only going to react when it's time. We're going to move militant. Then, now that we have our own military back and we self-sufficient, we don't need to go over there. Now we can be like, you know what, hey, is the smoke clear? Y'all want to be cool? If not,
because now we got our own over here, but we can be cool.
We can all be cool.
We are human.
We can be cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Try that with Black Wall Street.
That was like 20 years after slavery. Jim Crow was full in effect. It just wasn't gonna happen.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It don't.
Yes, it does.
Because we tried it and it didn't work. History is going.
Oh my God! You know what? I just turned on my son's toy and it didn't work. So that means I just leave the toy alone? No, I go buy a battery.
Okay.
You just give it up?
So, how come, right?
Am I right? No, acknowledge that. No, it didn't work. Oh, this doesn't work. So I just give up on it.
No,
you keep on trying to get it.
Okay,
you keep on working to try to get the job done, Majek.
Listen.
Stop having that defeated mentality and finish the job.
Mentality is about reality.
Stop being defeated.
Reality really is. A lot of us felt defeated, man. We felt like it couldn't happen. And the few that do feel like it's going to happen are going to be the ones who have to step up. The problem is the few that want shit to happen can't really step up because they ain't got shit either. But that's the issue. A lot of us feel we always sitting here like, oh, what they do and what they did. Man, listen. We have cell phones. Everything you ever need to know, you can look up any law, rule, regulation, how to start a business, how to own a business, buy a motherfucking ATM if you have to. There's ways to make money. There's ways to change what we got going on. The issue is we choose to like girls with fat asses on here. We choose to be on Instagram. We choose to look at the wrong things. We choose to ignore history. We choose to be like, yo, if history came on everybody's phone across right now, everybody be like, man, I'm trying to watch this commercial, man. I'm trying to get back on. I ain't trying to, what? Slavery? What? Yeah, we used to. We ain't nobody cares. That's the issue because we gave up. We like that's why we can allow that to go on in school. We can allow them to change the textbooks because we not sitting here like, no, this is not what's going to happen. This is not what we're going to stand for. If y'all not going to teach us the history, we going to make our own school. We have black women who are smart, educators. We can take them. Start the schools. It may start small. It's going to start small. And we expand. We build on it. We invest. We put our money up. That's not the same way as the NFL before you say that. But because that's a smaller entity and we're not trying to pay these kids millions of dollars to go to school. I just want to throw that in there. But that's where it starts from. It starts from self-education. We need to start becoming educated. That's the issue. All we want to do is complain. A lot of people don't even take the time. There's so much information out there. If you want to change the world, like you said, right, go to school, get a computer degree. We all know that the median salary of a computer degree is $50,000. Is that still poverty? Technically, it's kind of middle class. $50,000. If me and you both make $50,000, now we got $100,000. The problem is we out here fucking getting all these kids, and we young as hell with kids, so you can't take all your check and put it up. It's the truth. It's the truth. We are systematically, but we get, so now you got this money, but you got to take care of your kids. You cannot afford to take your whole check and put it in something to live with Carter.
That is the most ignorant.
That's not ignorant. That's ignorant?
Yes, because you just diminish all black women to fucking having kids and can't take care of.
I didn't say women. I said men who have all these, women take care of this regardless. I'm saying, man, we put ourselves. This is what young black men. This is what young black men do. It's a hustle.
The reality of black people.
It's a hustle.
If they say that a criminal white person has 2 times the chance of getting a fucking job opposed to a black man without a criminal record, you are ignoring everything about the struggle of that black person and have the ability to take care.
So when that black person, okay, so when you born in the hood, you have no way out.
Slim.
Why is it slim?
Slim.
Why?
Because there's no opportunities in a black neighborhood. Okay, so that's facts. You're undereducated in black neighborhoods. That's facts.
Okay, you're right.
You're investing in crime and poverty. That is facts.
So what about the kids who make it out?
Facts. They pay teachers $20,000, $30,000 to teach these badass kids who's angry. That's facts. Mm-hmm. They don't give us access to mental health resources, to psychologists. They don't give us access to that. They don't. You know what? You know why majority of fat people who are black is because they live in these neighborhoods where they don't put up healthy spots. They don't put up fucking Publix and all this other fucking, what's the other one?
Publix and that good head. I don't know what
they don't put up Whole Foods. They don't put up shit like that. They put up McDonald's, Wendy's, cheap shit that you could shove down your kids through, and then they give you a fucking job that you can barely afford that in. When you talk about struggles of black people, you cannot overstep to say just do this. Because you have to acknowledge the whole realm of what it means to be black in this country, and that's what majority of black people miss.
My question is
that's what they miss.
How do we fix that?
You need money, and I'm not saying that you don't. You do need money. You do need business. Money don't reveal people. Money don't do anything but create opportunity. That's it. You know what? I got a college degree. You know what? I got a college degree, and my brothers don't. My sisters don't. My mother don't, because I had access to somebody who was willing to invest money. I'm no smarter than my brothers. I'm no smarter than the drug dealers on the corner. But I had an opportunity different than them. And it's not their reality.
Right.
It's not. That's majority of black people living in the hood. Period. Period. Statistically, you could take a black kid, and I'm living proof of this. You could take them out of the hood and put them in a mediocre, in a middle class, in a rich class, and they would be just as successful as every single little person in that society. Right. But they don't give us that opportunity. You don't create opportunity. You can create opportunities out of
all we saying, Majette, all we saying is, in 2018,
it's not an excuse. It's still reality.
Yeah, but no. But I'm saying we still need to take.
But you know the way it's done. You know the way it's done, right? Your purpose. Now that you have a child, your whole purpose is to pass on something
to get him to understand. Absolutely.
To get him to understand. But you also needs. Your job is to give your child resources.
Facts.
Your job is to give your child resources.
Facts.
Your job is to give your child resources.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not.
That's all I'm trying to say.
No, my job is a parent.
And your son's job is to give his son resources.
My only job is to parents and make sure my son can be self-sufficient without me.
Right.
It's to pass on everything that I have.
So how do
I know into him?
So how do we get?
You build yourself up.
Everybody got to build themselves up.
But that's the issue. Everybody want to do this. Everybody want to take 5. You can't climb the mountain with 5. The problem is we want to take everybody at one time.
Gwinnett County, right? The best school district around here is in Gwinnett County, right? All the white people and all the people that know if they go to Gwinnett County, they're going to get an adequate education. When you went to DeKalb County and Fulton County, this shit is right before you. It's in your fucking eyes. Right before you know you're not going to be educated as well. You know you're going to be looked at different. Period. That's an absolute fact.
Should I go down the road? You know where I want to go?
Go.
I don't think we got time.
Go down the road.
I want to invite you back because I like where we going. But we got to do another one. But I talked to you about it when we done. So at the end of every podcast, I want everybody to say they spill on what they say your last piece. Say your piece to the people.
When it comes to, injustice and equality and whatever else we talked about, protesting, as black people in America, I feel like we literally have to take, whether, it's aggressively, whether it's violently, I feel like we have to take what we rightfully deserve. Everybody got reparations in this country but black people. Like, everybody. When we went to Vietnam War, we incarcerated them in camps and everything, they still got something out of that. We ain't get shit. We ain't get nothing. So how do I feel about this whole situation and everything? It's just simply that we need to take what we got. We need to take exactly what we want. Period. That's how I feel.
Okay, I'm going to say.
Say your piece.
This is like bits and pieces of Malcolm X all over here. I think, in my opinion, that we just need to start focusing on what's important at hand of today. We know what's wrong. We know what's been wrong. The thing is, can we change yesterday? No, but we can change tomorrow. But it starts with today. So I think we need to just stop wasting our time, put our minds together. Even if you got to start off by yourself. I mean, it's a proven fact that energy attracts energy. If you start going in the direction where life is going good, you're going to meet good people along the way. We just need to stop being so worried about all the cool stuff. Stop blowing our money in the club. We just need to change the way we spend money, the way we look at money. We need to change the way we think. We need to change our diets as far as what we digest in our phones, what we choose to watch on TV. We just need to fix. We need to fine tune ourselves. We need to start saying like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna get a little healthy mentally. I'm gonna stop looking at all these twerk videos for a little bit. I'm gonna put myself on restraints. I'm gonna start studying today. I'm gonna read a book. I'm gonna whatever. I don't care if the book is simple. It's reading and educating yourself. We just need to start educating our own selves. We need to say, okay, in school I didn't learn this, but now I have the resources to learn it. So let's take the time to learn, and then we can have a better future. That's all we can do. Because we can't just, you can't just throw money at something and fix it. Life doesn't work like that. We gotta come together and grow collectively. But it starts with yourself. That's the biggest thing. What you got to say?
I don't have a long drawn out speech. I just want to say this. React with ownership. So this is the end of my perspective. I want to leave y'all with a nice little quote. I'm going to say, don't be pushed around by the fears of your mind, but be led by the dreams of your heart. We out.
That was good, man.